I'm gonna be completely honest. I hate intros. I don't know how to intro the series, but anyway, this is episode number 6. Today we're doing a TvP. I did not mean to turn music off. We're doing a TvP. ByuN versus Her0 again, just like episode 5. Except this time we're on altitude. This also came from the Korean Starcraft League. Again, check those guys out. They're doing awesome work. They're gonna be trying to help the Korean scene stay healthy and try to provide some sort of income to the players there, and another means of tournaments and all that good stuff. But anyway, let's just kind of jump into this one. If you watched the last episode, you're going to notice a lot of similarities. ByuN is going to open this game attempting to do a Widow Mine drop, but as you saw the title, this is like a masterclass on decision making that we're going to be watching today. So we're going to be ignoring build order for the most part. He's going to open a standard Reaper expand, and we're going to be looking at decision making, how ByuN reacts to things. Some things that I just absolutely hate about ByuN's playstyle, and the fact that he never scouts. But you know, that's not neither here or there. You're going to notice how he reacts to things and how he actually overcomes a Protoss Deathball, which I know a lot of Terran players just a move race, haha XD, but I mean it's true, right? Well, at a certain point, the Protoss composition becomes insanely hard to deal with, and our armies just are eviscerated. Because we just stem a move, and that's not what you can do against a Protoss Deathball. So we're going to be learning from ByuN today on how to actually and effectively deal with a Protoss Deathball. Sure, they can deal infinitely more damage than us, and they have really good range, and it's really hard to deal with them, but they do lack in mobility. So we're going to be seeing ByuN take advantage of that. Also, I apologize if my camera's a little bit more jittery or quicker on the movement. I just use my standard play settings. Also, if you are into the build order or want to see kind of the nitty gritty of everything, there are notes, a build order, and I put the replay all inside of a Google Docs folder that's in the link in the down below. It's in the comment section. It's gonna be the pinned comment. You can check it out. You can watch the replay yourself. You can analyze everything and see all of my notes. But like I said, this one's a little funky, so we kind of don't. Also, I noticed ByuN always does this. He always starts a Hellion and then cancels it and then makes a Widow Mine. He did it in the last game too. I don't know if he's just, off his groove or something today when he was playing this, but so we are gonna stop. We are gonna do the 3-minute benchmark, because it's always good to benchmark yourself against professional players, see how your own replays stack up. So pull up one of your replays in a TvP where you're trying to do a Widow Mine drop, or you're trying this build out, and pause the game or pause the replay at 3 minutes and just kind of compare notes with what we have on screen here. So ByuN, fully saturated main base, 16 on minerals, 6 on gas. We are fully saturated here. We have our barracks. We have 2 Marines and a Reaper. Technically 3 Marines for ByuN because he's a no scouting mad lad. Our Widow Mine is about done. If you do have the Reaper, your Widow Mine is going to be a couple more seconds delayed because you are waiting for an extra bit of gas. That was the cost of the Reaper. I put that in the notes of the last video too, I know. Don't worry. Our starport's about halfway done. Our second command center is about halfway to an orbital. This guy should be mining, but yeah. How'd you do? How'd your 3 minutes compare to ByuN's 3 minutes? I'd say the main thing, if this is fully saturated and you haven't died to a cheese yet, you're doing great. You're not under threat of a cheese, I should say. So like I said, just like last game, he's opening up with this Widow Mine. It's going to go straight into the mineral line. He's starting up his starport. For that medevac, he's just constantly producing Marines from here. Our second Widow Mine sits in front of the starport. This will catch any weary Stargate plate. And look at that, we do catch a Phoenix, but it doesn't die. And check this out. This is the interesting part. This is where the build order doesn't matter anymore. This is where it goes from, okay, we're following this precise build order to F it, throw it out the window. My opponent has a Stargate, so I'm going full reactionary. Of course, if you had a Reaper and you scouted and you saw the tech and that there was a starport on the way, or sorry, a Stargate on the way, you don't have to react this fast. But he immediately snap cancels the medevac, starts a Viking. You can't let the medevac finish. That's not the biggest deal. And then he immediately snap cancels the third Widow Mine, throws down a tech lab. Keeps his Widow Mine here, keeps his Widow Mine in the mineral line. And yeah, starts building out. He just immediately, instant decision, can't see, doesn't know anything what the Protoss is doing. As soon as he saw a real Phoenix that didn't get one shot to the Widow Mine, meaning it's not a hallucination, it's go time, baby. So he actually cancels his Viking as well. I think there's a little bit of indecision, but he cancels his Viking and instead he throws down a third command center. So this is a pretty high level understanding of the game. He knows that 1, altitude, big map. It's going to take him a while to get across the map. 2, he opens Stargate, so I'm not expecting any sort of crazy rushes. The worst is going to happen is an Oracle's going to fly into my base, but guess what? I already have 2 Widow Mines to protect myself. There's not going to be an Immortal coming out the gate, just going to come kill me. So I'm going to throw it on a third command center. I'm going to get ahead on economy. I am going to start a Cyclone with this tech lab for defense, and I'm going to be perfectly safe because there's not going to be, a bunch of Blink Stalkers coming into my base in about 45 seconds. There's maybe 2 or 3 Phoenixes I have to worry about. I got a pack of Marines I can sit right here in this mineral line, and I have a Widow Mine protecting this one. I'm perfectly fine to take a third base. So that's why he canceled that Viking. Made a third base. You can let the Viking finish if you'd like, or you can also let the medevac finish that he canceled first, which again I probably would have recommended. Or you can cancel both and just start a tech lab. Start a tech lab the same time that you start a tech lab on your factory to start producing like a Raven or something, or something that you can swap into later. To throw down that third base because you are going to be completely safe. Even if this was a proxy, it still wouldn't be 3 Phoenixes aren't that deadly. Now he does have a Robo and he is pushing out an Immortal, but check this out. He has 2 Adepts. What's 2 Adepts and a couple Phoenixes gonna do to a pack of Marines, 2 Widow Mines, and a Cyclone? I'll tell nothing. Nothing. He is perfectly safe and in his right mind here. So we're gonna go back to ByuN's point of view. All right, so here's where it gets a little bit more interesting now. So after that Cyclone's done, we're going to throw down 2 barracks. Excuse me. 1 barracks is going to be on this tech lab. The other barracks, we're going to fly to this tech lab that we built on the starport. Of course, after we get our Raven out, because Ravens are great units. Never skip a Raven. We're also going to throw down 2 engineering bays. So altogether, we're throwing down, after our 3rd CC, and we made a tech lab on our starport and a tech lab on our factory. We're going to fly the factory, build 2 more barracks, start 2 E-bays, and call it good, and build a Raven, I guess. So now we're going to float the starport to make a reactor. We're probably going to start a reactor here on this factory as well. But the reason we're abandoning this tech lab is we're actually going to fly this barracks over to take over that tech lab. Since we're not in immediate need for medevacs, you can use the starport to actually build these add-ons. Same with the factory. You can actually start a tech lab or a reactor for barracks later. So we're going to fly this barracks over to the tech lab, and we're going to start, you guessed it, 2 more barracks, baby. We're going up to 5 barracks. We have a bunker out front. We're perfectly safe. After the E-bays went down, we grabbed our 3rd gas. Another way you can look at it is, this is just taken. There's only been 6 gas mined from it. Or 8 gas, sorry. But once you get thinking about it, once this is fully saturated with minerals, so once we have 16 out of 16 here, we can actually go ahead and start our third and fourth gas. And now we're on to Marauder production, because Marauders are great units against Protoss. And we're also going to fly this third base into position. And we're going to stop and do a 6-minute benchmark here. I know the first one's at 3 minutes. Normally I do them every 2 minutes, but there's a lot going on around the 5-minute mark that I figured a benchmark probably isn't the best time in this particular case. I also like this move. We're throwing down a missile turret in our natural. We're throwing one down in our main, just kind of trying to protect that production, make sure this is completely safe so we don't need our Marines at home. We started up our stem, we started up our combat shield, our third base is landing, and we're about to go forward and take this low ground. There is something in the notes, by the way. Around the... Oops. Well, let's do our 6-minute benchmark and then we'll go back to our notes, right? So 6 minutes, we'll start with, we'll look at saturation and SCV count. So we have a total of 50 SCVs, 51. I would say you should have on average about 48 to, I'd say about 50, 54 SCVs at this point, depending on if you lost any and how you've been keeping up on your macro. So our first base, our main is fully saturated. We do have one guy building it. Barracks. Our natural, fully saturated, both gases. Again, all minerals, both gases. Our third base just landed, so we're going to start saturating that bad boy. We're sitting on 5 barracks now. 2 are about to finish. We have a starport with a reactor. We have a factory that we're not using. We have stem and combat shield on the way. We have +1/+1 on the way. And also, again, at this point in this video, ByuN's armory is late. I would say in about when +1/+1 is about 50 to 65% done, that's when you want to start your armory. So that way you can continue on and get a continuous progression to +2/+2 and maintain your upgrade advantage. So our third base is down. We're a little bit slow to take this low ground. In a real game, I would assume you'd want to push out with a Marine or 2 capturing these watchtowers. The best part about Terran is our basic unit is cheap and good. We can send out 1 or 2 Marines. We produce a shit ton of them. We have 5 barracks. I mean, damn. But we send out 1 or 2 Marines. These guys are going to go to this tower. These 2 are going to go to this tower. And we're just going to try to hold this position, make sure nothing's coming towards us. We can even send 1 or 2 Marines. I would send 1 here, maybe 1 here. So that way we can watch this kind of area, or maybe a little bit further up outside of that watchtower range, just to make sure we can see anything coming. Then you can also send a unit to this 4th base, make sure Protoss isn't fast expanding and taking way more greedier approaches. The Phoenixes do swoop right in. When we do pick one off, thanks to that awesome cyclone that we made. He tried to go for the lift and ends up actually losing a second Phoenix. Pretty bad for Her0, unfortunately. Now that our third base is landed, you know what? We want ghosts. Ghosts are amazing. You saw the thumbnail. Ghosts are so good versus Protoss. They are the best unit. Ghosts and Ravens, I swear, are my 2 favorite units because they just provide so much utility in every single matchup except maybe TvT. The Ghost doesn't provide as much. It could though. Actually, if you think about it, I might start making Ghosts in TvT because if I EMP my opponent's Ravens, he's not going to get any defense matrices on my tanks. So maybe. It also might be a huge investment and a little bit of a waste, but I guess they also do bonus damage to Marines, so it can't be the worst case scenario. I don't know, think about it. I'll let you know how it goes. I do like this supply depot up front. It's a little forward supply depot. It gives us a little bit more vision around. That way we can see if there's an attack coming. If they're A moved, they will get stuck on this supply depot. ByuN takes my advice a little bit belayed and starts sending out these little scouter Marines. Check this out. So he forces the probe off this one. We're getting that just fine. This guy's going to come up here. He's going to go up and check this third base. You can see ByuN's mark. This guy over here is going to come try to check what's on this watchtower and get brutally murdered, unfortunately. Same with this gentleman. So we're at 735. There is another benchmark in the notes. You can compare yourself against that benchmark. Obviously, your games might be a little bit more hectic, so take into account, how often you've been attacked and things like that, and try to compare notes more generously, I would say. Not too generous, if like in a game where you haven't been attacked at all, you should be at least at the same spot or better. But I like this move by ByuN. He pushed forward. He did see that there was a couple Colossus. He doesn't have this watchtower, so it's kind of meh. He knows Protoss knows, and he's going to go take it with the Cyclone. And he's just trying to kind of get out onto the map now. He's kind of forcing himself up. He's going to make sure that the Protoss doesn't have this base. He's going to check this base. Our ghosts are still coming out, which is awesome. He's finally just now getting that armory. Again, a little bit late. More than 18 seconds because our 1-1's been done for a minute. But I like this composition. We got Marine, Mines, Marauders, Medevacs, MM, and we're just going to push up kind of nice and slow. Notice how ByuN doesn't stim his entire army up to check that ramp. He's not F2ing. He's not rallying all these guys across the map. When he pushed out, he's taking his fourth base. He's taking it nice and slow. He's building it on location because he can afford to be a little bit greedy because his army is controlling the map right now. He doesn't have anything to fear from Protoss. And this is kind of how we get into defeating a Deathball scenario, right? We have a pretty sizable army. We got 27 units, Ravens, some Medevacs, Marine, Marauder, Mines. This mine is sitting up front. He's going to be guarding our front. We did have a Marine and a Mine up here to stop any future builds or stop a fourth base from coming out. And we're just going to push up here. We know that the Protoss is attacking with a pretty small force. Our army can 100% kill one Colossus and a few Zealots. And then look, we also get a free Disruptor. Nope. Backs out. Now, this is hard for me. I know I myself would have overcommitted there. I would have 100% gone hard for this Disruptor, killed it, lost this chunk of my units, had Zealots on these guys, my Raven would have died. It would have been real sad. But ByuN, really good player, knows he's overcommitting, didn't see down this side of the ramp, and as soon as he saw that Disruptor went for the kill, he's like, you know what? I don't think I can get this. But what I will say, whoops, sorry about that. In the meantime, while ByuN has been pushing this, trying to deny this fourth base, his rallied troops are actually sitting up and posting up on the Xel'Naga Watchtower. He actually has a completely separate hotkey army to start multi-prong attacking the Protoss. That's the key to beating a Deathball, is mobility and multi-pronged attack and being a huge, scrappy, just pain in the ass for the Protoss player. Our fourth base is coming up. 2-2 is on the way. We are even now. We did have an upgrade advantage, but we did lose it because we forgot about our armory. We have a forward mine here, just in a nice position to catch any Zealots off guard. These guys, their main goal, yes, is going to be our second army. We're going to be using them to multi-prong. Second thing they're fulfilling, they're maintaining map control. We own this area. We see everything around this area. Third thing they're preventing, run-bys. Our opponent can't send a pack of Zealots past this group unless he goes the long way around. Speak of the devil. Here comes a pack of Zealots right into the meat grinder. Oh, snipes are so good.
Command center upgrade.
So now we're starting our multi-prong kind of approach. We have our Widow Mine here to guard our left flank in case there's a bunch of Zealots that walk by here. Obviously, this one went off on the probe, which isn't good. But it's a good idea to have this guy on the left side to make sure you can see if you're being flanked or not. We're going to go up and start pushing this expansion, just kind of testing the boundaries, seeing really what's going on in the Protoss's army. We do see he has a fourth base. We do see it's pretty saturated. He has some defenses, a battery overcharge. We got to get out. No point in really fighting this. So we're just going to kind of poke and prod. And we saw that good chunk. We didn't see any Colossus. We didn't see any Disruptors. We know he has both of those in the army. So the only place they could be, because we maintained this for so long, the only place the Colossus and the Disruptors could be, probably about right here. So it wouldn't hurt to scan this area, scan up here just to make sure. If you are going to start a multi-prong attack with these guys, say these guys are pushing this base, just being a nuisance, and you're going to multi-prong here, scan about here or here, and then start your attack. Yeah, you kind of give it away, but if the Protoss player isn't paying attention and he's looking at the fight, then you're going to get away completely free. Let's continue our expansions. We have a couple more missile turrets going down. I mean, it's all right. It's all right. What else I would like to see ByuN do is actually put a bunker like right here. Do a bunker here, then put like 2 or 3 Marines in it. Same goes for here. Put like a bunker right here and a supply depot. That just makes it completely safe from any run-bys. Having this position on this right side also makes it safe from run-bys. But you know, Protoss are tricky. They have warp prisms. You never know. Starting our 5th base. Our economy is looking good. Our main base is about to be mined out, so we're making sure we're transferring our SCVs. 2nd, fully saturated, natural, basically fully saturated. I mean, we're missing one or two guys, and I found them. They're at our 3rd base. This is fully saturated minerals. We don't have our gases yet. Our armies are looking good. We have 2 full armies. If you actually look at the hotkeys here, we have 1 and 4. I use 1 and 2, but that's a whole other story. So we have these guys on 4. This is our multi-prong. We have these guys on 1, and we are loading up for a doom drop. Because we know that he has a very robo-heavy composition, he's got Colossus, he's got Disruptors, he's got Zealots, he's got Archons. Dude can't move. You know, he's going to be slow. He doesn't have insane anti-air capabilities. F it. Let's just go doom drop him. 4 medevacs full. And we're just going to go around and we're going to go straight for that main base. We're going to speed across. Look at that. Look at this fool, man. He has nothing. So we're going to go right into this main base. And I love this move from ByuN here. He actually, doing this is a massive distraction. Leaves his Widow Mine here and says, all right, well, if you're actually not going to come this way, I'm going to swoop in here and claim this position. If I can claim this position, or if I can come around this side and start pushing here, you're going to be dead, because this is a huge gap and really hard for melee units to go from here. They have to go all the way back up and around to get to here. Or Colossus, I guess, can walk up, but that's still a little bit of a trek. So he's going to come in, he's going to deny this base. And this drop doesn't have to do insane damage. It doesn't have to kill all the production. The main thing it has to do is pull these Colossus and these big boy units away. If we pull away these mega deadly guys, this multi-prong attack is free. Look at that. He has a couple Disruptors, an Archon, and some Zealots. We just do some awesome tear and splitties. Focus down the Disruptor before we lose everything. And we're just a nuisance. We're picking up, we're pulling them over here, just drawing the Colossus' attention while we take this entire base. And then we're going to rally to these guys, because these guys have a stronger advantage. So we're going to rally across the map. All of our guys are going to get there. We're just going to keep pushing up. And I love this micro control. Look, meanwhile, all this is happening, he's just dropping these guys. Their lives are forfeit, all right? They knew what they signed up for. It's in the waiver. He's just throwing them away. At this point, we get on some Disruptors. We are just pushing through. As soon as we kill this 3rd base, it's game over. As soon as we killed this 4th base, we were so far ahead because our 5th base is already done. You know, we have our 4th base. It's fully saturated. We got our gases up. We're building 2 more command centers. We're spending that money. We're doing everything we can. Our 3-3's on the way. We have all of our units. We are up an insane amount of supply. There's nothing he can do in this position. Sure, his army could still kill our army, but we have a lot of reinforcements on the way. We are rallying across the map. Look at that. Look at the number shred. This is what happens when you fight the Deathball, by the way. You lose everything. Don't overcommit. Don't overcommit. This is fine. The medevacs were probably going to be lost anyway, but so we're just going to drop in the main. And we're going to regroup our forces, and we're going to start pushing again. But doesn't matter because Hero said, "Nah, I'm done." After losing his third base and his fourth base, knowing ByuN is probably onto his fifth. If he's not already, he's making his fifth base. We are fully saturated. We're gonna make more orbitals here. We're gonna be in a very good spot. We could even take this base if we want to start taking more of a forward position. I would also prefer just to take. Maybe I wouldn't take. I would probably take this base over here, opposed to this base over here. Just because if the Protoss is gonna try to expand here, if I killed this third base, I'd be more comfortable expanding here. If I didn't kill this base, I would have expanded over here. That's how I would have seen it. But yeah, just insane reactions and discipline from ByuN in this game, and that's kind of what I wanted to cover today. Kind of F the build order nonsense. Like, build orders are wonderful, they're great. You should definitely learn them and use them, but a lot of the time it comes down to game sense, practice, knowing how and when to manipulate the Protoss army. And I will say, this Doom drop at 10 minutes is a fantastic example of game knowledge and game sense, right? Because if ByuN had a more Phoenix heavy composition, or a more, yeah, like if he started going into carriers or anything like that, right? If he had a lot more Stargate units as opposed to the clunky Robo units, a Doom drop does not work that well. If he has like 7 or 8 Phoenixes out, like say we didn't kill him off early game or he just kept producing them, this is not the play. A Doom drop is not good, especially if you've already been pressuring this side, because the Phoenixes are probably already there or in a spot easy to get to. Instead, what you do is you just drop these guys, you just move up, pressure here, wait until the armies kind of show up, pressure with this side, try to go into the natural, try to start taking out some of the production up here, and just try to make Protoss split his army. Once Protoss splits his army, then you can kind of tear him apart a little bit better. You can jump on the disruptors easier, you can jump on the Colossus easier, as there's less meat shields in the way of that. But anyway, yeah, this was ByuN versus Her0, our second TvP. Again, sorry, it's not really a build order specific. There is a build order and notes in the description or in the comment section below, so definitely check those out. If you have more questions, the replay's in there too. Benchmark yourselves. Let me know how you guys do. Hopefully this is helpful or educational in some sense. If you guys want, I'll just go back to doing analysis, build orders, and things like that. Yeah, just definitely let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all next time. All right, thanks. Bye.